What happens when you give a living thing everything it wants? Unlimited food, unlimited water, total freedom from disease. You don't get a paradise, you get a graveyard. To understand the trap, you have to understand the fear. In the 1960s, the world was terrified of the Malthusian trap, the belief that humanity would breed until we starved. Enter Dr. John B. Calhoun. He was a researcher for the National Institute of Mental Health, and he had a different theory. He said, the problem isn't food, the problem is space. In 1947, he built a rat city in a barn with enough resources for 5,000 rats. But the population stopped at 200. They formed gangs. They killed each other out of stress. So, in 1968, the government gave him the money to build the ultimate simulation. He built a 9 by 9 foot metal square, a vertical metropolis, 16 high-rise apartments, capacity 3,840 mice. But there was a catch. The food wasn't in the apartments. It was in the public plaza. To eat, you had to commute. The architecture forced interaction. You could not hide. On July 9, 1968, 8 white mice were released into Eden. Calhoun called it a mortality-inhibiting environment. He had created heaven, and the countdown to hell had begun. For the first 300 days, it worked. The population doubled every 55 days. There was no infant mortality. It was the golden age. But then, they hit the invisible wall. In the wild, young mice leave home to find new territory. Here, they couldn't leave. The old guard, who weren't dying, held all the social roles. They held the nests. They held the status. The youth were physically healthy, but socially useless. Rejected by society, they withdrew to the center floor. They formed what Calhoun called the behavioral sink. They clustered together in massive, vibrating piles. They were addicted to the friction. They wouldn't eat unless the crowd was eating. Violence erupted, but it was strange violence. The dropouts attacked each other viciously, but they never fought back. They were covered in scars. They became masochistic punching bags, trapped in a loop of pain and proximity. While the dropouts gave up, another group snapped in a different way. The probers. These males became agents of chaos. Hyperactive, hypersexual. They chased everything. They just wanted to disrupt. This is where the cycle broke. Because the males stopped defending the nests, the probers invaded constantly. The nursing mothers were forced to become warriors. In their blind rage, they started attacking their own babies. Maternal instinct vanished. They kicked their children out before they were ready. A generation was raised without love. Eventually, the screaming stopped. The violence died down. The population crashed. But the survivors were not the strongest. They were the ones who refused to play the game at all. A new caste emerged from the high-rises. Calhoun called them the beautiful ones. They were called this because they had no scars. They had never fought. They had never courted a female. They did nothing but eat, sleep, and groom their fur. They were physically perfect, but socially dead. They were the ultimate narcissists. They had realized that society was pain, so they shut it off. They were incapable of acknowledging the existence of another living soul. They were alone in a crowded room. Calhoun tried to save them. He took a group of beautiful ones and placed them in a fresh cage with receptive females. He gave them a second chance at Eden. But they didn't breed. They didn't even look at the females. They just sat in the corner and groomed. The software was corrupted permanently. Calhoun wrote a terrifying conclusion. The first death is the death of the spirit. The second death is the death of the body. The beautiful ones had died the first death long before their hearts stopped beating. On May 23, 1973, the last mouse died. Universe 25 was empty. It didn't end with a bang. It ended with a whimper.
Calhoun didn't build a mouse cage. He built a prophecy. Look around you. Look at our cities. Look at our screens. We have solved the problem of survival. We have unlimited food. We have warmth. We have safety. And just like the mice, we are rotting. The beautiful ones are already here. In Japan, they call them hikikomori. In the West, we call it bed rotting. Millions are withdrawing from the friction of reality. They retreat to the digital high-rise. They groom their avatars. They consume content. But they do not live. We have the entire world at our fingertips, yet we crowd into the same 3 apps. Social media is the behavioral sink. We are addicted to the pathological togetherness. In the final parallel, we stop breeding. Across the developed world, birth rates are collapsing. The maternal instinct is being overridden by the survival instinct. We are in phase D, but Calhoun had a solution. He believed that when physical space runs out, humanity must expand conceptual space. We must build new worlds, not of matter, but of mind. The only way to survive the sink is to leave the city, disconnect from the noise, find the dark forest. The Mouse Utopia teaches us one simple truth. Struggle is not the enemy. Struggle is the structure. If you remove the challenge of life, you remove the reason for life. Wake up. Start your new life now. Subscribe for more. Like the video so others learn.